What's up, everyone? It's Scott here from the Gear Rules channel, and today we're checking out, as you might have guessed, the Groove Life belt. Now, Groove Life is a company that is based here in the United States and has been exploding in popularity as of late. When I first stumbled across the company a couple of years ago, they were just making silicone wedding bands like this one, but since then have expanded into several different markets like minimalist wallets and belts. Full disclosure here, Groove Life did send me this belt to check out, as well as the minimalist wallet, which I just did a review on. But that's not going to dissuade me from telling you guys the truth about these products. As you might have guessed by my subscriber count, this is not my full-time job, so fear not. So we're going to get into my pros and cons list, including why you might not want to use this belt if you're planning to carry with it. So stay tuned for that. And if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button. I'd really love to have you guys stick around. Let's go ahead and get into the review of Groove Life belt. Alright, so before we dive into my coveted pros and cons list, we're going to talk a little bit about some details of this belt. Starting with the warranty, just like all of their products, this comes with a 94-year no BS warranty. I actually exercised this warranty on their silicone rings, which is a little bit of a flimsy material. This is going to last a lot longer than I would expect their rings to. This is going to give you some peace of mind when going and purchasing a belt that runs about $70. Moving on to the actual material of the belt. The webbing of this belt is a proprietary mixture which allows it to flex just ever so slightly, which is, in my opinion, separating this belt from your everyday carry tactical belts that really have no give. And these serve their own purpose. This serves its own purpose, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. And this belt is a little bit too big for me. They sent me the wrong size, but there's a keeper loop here that's going to take all the excess material and just keep that nice and concealed. Now, moving on to the belt buckle, this is really where the sauce gets made for this belt. It is an aluminum alloy which integrates some neodymium, I hope I'm saying that right, magnets into the belt. So there's some hooks on one side as well as a pair of magnets, which allows you to snap the belt buckle in place and keeps it in place. And if you want to take it off, you just have to make sure you push the hooks in the right direction, making it nice and easy to take on and off. Now, this belt comes in several different colors. You can mix and match the band color as well as the buckle color. This is the dark gray, but they have black, camo, dark green, and the belt buckles come in all sorts of different styles. And you can even put some logos like a Batman logo or a flag or whatever floats your boat. Unfortunately, I don't think they have the Gear Rules logo on the belt buckle yet, but we're working on it. So that's kind of some of the basics of the belt. Let's go ahead and talk about the pros and cons of this bad boy. Alright, so just like we do on all my reviews, we're going to start off with the pros. Starting out, we're going to talk about the belt buckle design. Honestly, it makes it so easy to use. I've never had it come undone accidentally just because of the way the hooks are made. You're always going to be applying force outward, which keeps this locked into place. And I've never had issues pulling it off. You just have to remember which way to pull it off. That feature is awesome, and it's honestly just kind of fun to do. So if I've been doing this a lot in this video, I apologize. Moving on to the material here of this webbing. First of all, not seeing any signs of wear throughout the entire belt, so that's something you love to see. And this stretch of the material has two benefits. First of all, it makes it so you really only have to set the size of this belt once. You can adjust the size of the belt with this cinch, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But once you set it, you can basically set and forget. I've only had to change the size a few times because maybe I'm wearing something that's a little bulkier or something like that. That's, micro adjustments need to happen, but basically that little stretch is going to allow you, if your waist size changes throughout the day, to keep it at that size. And the stretch also makes it so that if I'm bending down to pick something up, this isn't going to be cutting into the sides of my stomach. I've had that happen with some of those other belts I showed you earlier, and this is just a lot more comfortable to have on. My final pro that I'm going to discuss on this video is this belt looks really nice. It's kind of your do-it-all belt. Honestly, I didn't have that opinion when I first saw it. I was like, wow, this belt buckle is just kind of plain looking. But when I started wearing it, I found I could wear it with black jeans, I could wear it with dark blue jeans, I could wear it with khakis and all sorts of different scenarios, like if I'm using it for work or trying to look nice or going out in the town. It really kind of works for all different styles. I don't typically tuck in my shirt, so if it gets exposed, I still think it looks pretty nice. So that is the pros. There's a lot to offer with this belt, but I would be doing you a disservice if I didn't tell you about the cons. Now, the first con I'll tell you guys about is if you're looking to carry a firearm or some sort of tool belt attachment, this might not be the best belt for you. I think it's more of a everyday, around town, around for work, but if you're going to be carrying a firearm, it personally is too flimsy in my opinion compared to some of the other belts I had earlier, and it's just gonna, I don't think it has that type of strength to do that. Just my opinion. I've read some reviews online, they also agree with that opinion, so just something to be aware of. Alright, so my next con for this belt, which is just a slight nitpicking con, is there is this belt keeper here, and it does a good job at holding the belt in, but I still occasionally, when I'm putting on the belt, because the extra slack gets integrated on the interior of the belt, that this area will get stuck in a belt loop. It's only just a slight annoyance, but it does happen from time to time. And my final con, which to me is the biggest of all of them, is the adjusting of the belt. So this has a very common cinch type functionality, and if you want to do a lot of slack, it's easy to just pull the belt material and move a lot of material. However, most of the time when you're using this belt, if you want to adjust it, it's only going to be in slight increments, and if you're doing that, then really the best way is to push the material through, and then once you have just a little bit, then you can pull it, and you can do that going longer or shorter, and that functionality is just a little bit more difficult than I would like. But most of the time, you're never going to actually change the length of your belt. It's just that 5 to 2% of the time where you need to do a slight adjustment. It's a little bit more difficult than I would like. Alright, so that covers it for my Groove Life belt review. I've really enjoyed using it for the past couple months. Just a few nitpick cons, and one major con for those looking to carry something a little heavier with this belt. My opinion, not really the best belt for the job. If you have the Groove Life belt and have different opinions, put them down below. And if you have any comments or questions in general, put them down below. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. We're going to catch you guys on the next Gear Rules video. Until then, stay safe, have fun, and get out there. Enjoy yourselves.